Good morning everyone, it's Joker, and today we are back with yet another slime video. And today, maybe you've picked up your first copy of the Masked Hero 1.0, the best unit out of this entire anniversary pile of coins and units. If this is your first time getting her and you're like, oh, I wish I had a really good weapon for her that was already awakened. Well, look no further, because I got you, alright? So, we have an exclusive weapon for the old hero. Not the new hero, but the old hero. So let's go down and find her real fast. Here she is. So this sword right here, the Moonlight Goddess Blade, when equipped by Masked Hero, the Time Traveler, specifically this hero, not the new hero that just came out, increases attack by 10%. Awesome. You can get this free to play, technically, and if you have the new meta, and maybe a healer, then you can get it actually fairly easily. And where do you get said weapon? You get it from Quest Stage, Story Chapter 13. The Beauty makes her move, Expert difficulty, Stage 8 unlocked with the mysterious EP requirements. So if we click into here, we can see that we fight Hinata first off. Hinata really hates you. She has a whole bunch of debuffs on you turn 1 before you could even do anything. And she only has 67,000 HP, so she's not the tankiest thing in the world. But if you manage to beat her, you will unlock a secret story, number 3, that came out for last year's half anniversary. And then you will move on to fight the Masked Hero herself, who has 204,000 HP and a little bit more stats. And she has resistances to everything interesting, and gives herself an attack buff, a light attack buff, guaranteed crits, crit damage, guaranteed pierce, pierce power, guard, and super guard for 1 turn. Which means that if you kill Hinata and you go into the Masked Hero fight unprepared, she will wipe you. Guaranteed. She does like 200,000 damage to you on even like level 120 units. There's no way for you to survive. So what you have to do is you have to build up your units and have enough DPS to kill her before she can kill you. So, using the new meta team, we can actually do this, and this is what I'm using so far. We have the new Velzard, who's going to stack attack on Guy and Valentine. You don't need to do it on Valentine, but I did it anyways. So, they will remain in the back. I have the alt gauge charm that gives it to the highest attack unit, so I can just use it over and over and over and kind of get Guy to his ult without actually having to send orbs, because he's very strong and Hinata is very weak. So, remember that Hinata buffs the front line turn 1, or debuffs the front line turn 1. So I have an orb changer, and a healer to take that debuff. So the idea is that you will just spam blue orbs, get a whole bunch of Velzards, bring Guy in every time you have one, use Velzard to stack up the attack, and then eventually, when you're ready to go, you kill Hinata, move on to the hero, and then on that first turn, you just nuke the crap out of her with Guy and the buff from Valentine and Physical Rimuru. There are many other team comps you can use this. I've done pretty much every single team that's ever come out past the half anniversary. I've attempted this stage with varying levels of success, and yeah, it works out pretty well. So the front 3 units are here to orb change, and Ramers is here to keep you healed. If you don't have Ramers, you can use Trainee or Windval or something, but Ramers is the biggest heal, and after a while, it all costs the same amount of skill points, no matter who it is. It's just she gives the biggest heal, so that's why I use her. If you don't have Physical Rimuru, you could bring Space Rimuru. I guess you would just need you would actually need another orange orb changer. So I mean, you could bring Wind Water Shuna. It's just that you're getting an all buff here already. So, and you can't bring Carrion, the Space Carrion, because he will get the attack buff from Velzard, and you do not want that. The only people you ever want hitting Hinata are these units right here. So let's go ahead and find my recording of it, and we will talk through it. Okay, so here we go. Same team, we're going to start up, and honestly, starting hand doesn't matter, because you're going to be here for probably a while. You don't have to be here for nearly as long as I did, because as you'll see at the end of the video, we do way too much damage. But the idea is that, so I bring in Guy, you see we do a crap ton. We don't need that. I just wanted him to get those 4 orbs to get him started on his ult, and then from here on out, we just orb change and build up Velzard. Rammers will heal us when we need it, and we're doing like 300 damage right here, 760 damage. That's what you want. You want to do as little damage as possible with the front units, and then bring Guy in, get the stack of attack. If you have the charm, then go ahead and get that, and if you don't, then we'll worry about that later. Because on the kill turn, when you're ready to go, you can just play it so you have an entire hand of Guy, so you could then get his EX ult by just sending 6 orbs of him that are unnerfed. So that works too. You don't have to keep sending orbs for him, throughout the fight, which you really don't want to do, because Hinata doesn't heal herself. So doing as little damage as possible is important. On turn 5, she puts her, like, a whole bunch of resistance up, which makes you do even less damage, which is good. So now, again, for the next, I think, 20 turns or something, this is all we do. We just stack and stack and stack and stack, and there's nothing really too, what's the word? Nothing too difficult about it. It's just, you have orb changers, use them. You have Velzard stacks, bring Guy in and use them. Do not send orbs with Guy. Eventually I get an EX ult for him, and then I start worrying about getting a full hand for Velzard, because I do want her ult as well, just for funsies, so we'll skip ahead to that. So here, now we have Guy's ult, so now we'll just go ahead and send everything. The first 3 units that are debuffed, you can send their ults willy-nilly, because the front units don't have gear. They have jackets, and they have bracelets on. They have no weapon, alongside no support, so they do as little damage as possible. That's the important part, which I probably should have put earlier in the video, but we're not that far in. So, there we go. We'll skip ahead, and we're on turn 12 now. Same thing. We've been stacking the entire time. It's not hard to comprehend, as long as you have the orb changers. I did it with the fire team in, 9 turns or something? It only took 9 turns because I had to build up points. So, a lot of teams can clear this stage now, because this is old. This is a year old, but the sword remains forever. If you just starting out now and you want that sword, it's yours if you can do this. People who already have the sword, obviously, you can't get it again. But, yeah. So let's get to the actual nuke turn now. Alright. So here, turn 23, I've set it up so we have an entire hand of Rimuru, so I can bring in Velzard, or not Velzard, but Valentine, and get an EX ult for her, plus another stack of Velzard, and kill Hinata. So there we go. We're now ready to go. We have 580 points, plenty. We have 2 EX ults. We have 1 more stack of Velzard. So let's go ahead and skip this scene right here. And then in comes the hero with all of her fucking buffs. There we go. All of it. So now, all we have to do is nuke her down before she can nuke us. So Rammers comes out. We no longer need a healer. We don't have any orbs for Rimuru, which is fine because he's only here for support. So let's get 1 more stack on, and then we'll use the physical buff, the crit resistance down, because Valentine also has a physical buff, which is being overshadowed, and then Guy's ult damage buff. So she has 204,000 HP, so we're going to send Valentine first, get that 15% physical debuff, 169k, and then Guy does 488, and she only has 200,000 health, so way more damage than what we needed. But that is how you do it with this current new team. I mean, 2 of the characters are free to play, the 3 characters obviously are summonable, and then physical Rimuru you can replace with another orange orb changer. It doesn't have to be a support unit, because obviously Guy does way too much damage anyways, and we're already getting that physical buff from Valentine. So hopefully this video helps you out. It's a very short one, but people want free stuff. Here's some free stuff for you. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.